Hey everyone, so it's been about a month into recovery, or a month and a half since my last chemo session. So I'm still not working, I'm still not studying, but I've been really focusing on being okay with not having to dive into the next thing, which is very difficult for me in particular. I have been feeling out the PhD option, but I'm still not sure if that's really a smart thing to do, if that's something that I would normally recommend someone to do after they've gone through something like what I've gone through. And it's a bit hard not to be critical of myself too much, and I find it hard to kind of give myself advice that I would probably normally give a friend or someone, or like a stranger, or just someone that I know who's gone through something similar. And I'm really making an effort to kind of slow down with the way that I kind of want to jump into things all the time, which is worked for me well before all this happened, but now that this has happened and I can't change that, I have to just think differently and adapt the way that I approach things and think about things, because I'm really scared of kind of diving into something like a PhD and then kind of burning that card and then having to kind of leave it, or feel like I've kind of started the experience on the wrong foot, and then even if it takes me longer to finish it, or I decide to come back to it later, that maybe I won't want to come back to it later because I kind of feel a bit anxious about it. And that's something that I've been feeling with the other work that I had been doing, that when I think about going back to that job, I just get a little bit anxious just thinking about how it became too much and too overwhelming when I tried it last. And I know that I'd be in a very different position to how I was then, and I'd probably start off doing something like part-time work before working up to full-time work. But already I've kind of created this kind of slightly negative, I guess, aura around that kind of work because of where I was when I started it. So I really don't want to jump into anything else and kind of burn anything anymore, or even return to that kind of work and still not be ready and then kind of burn that kind of card even more. Yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I should go next, because obviously I still want to be able to work, because even though I want to take my time jumping into kind of work or pursuing my career at the same time, we have to work to be able to earn money, to be able to live our lives. So that's something that I'm trying to feel out, but not be overwhelmed by it. But it's very hard to say that. It's very hard to do that, but very easy to say that. Good news is that me and my partner got accepted for a place, and so we're moving out when he comes back at the very end of the month, which is super exciting. And I'm really trying to hold on to that good news, because I feel like it's something that we really have to do during these times, is kind of hold on to the good news that comes our way, the good things that happen. And I've been to 2 sessions with a psychologist since I made my last video, and they went well, and I won't be seeing her for another couple of weeks, but I felt it was beneficial to be able to talk about different things and have them provide their expertise in different areas. And I find it really helpful this far to talk to Red Kite as well, which is an organization in Australia, which I'll leave a link in the description box, and they provide just all kinds of help and support, including education and career support when it comes to young people who have gone through or have finished chemo or cancer. So I'm trying to reach out to my resources that I know that my country provides me, and I think that's something that anyone who's going through this kind of thing, see what kind of resources are out there for you, especially if you are a young person going through this experience. Sometimes there are organizations that also cater to you specifically and can provide you things that normally would affect you more than maybe other age groups, because I found that interacting with those organizations thus far, like Canteen or Red Kite, that has been very helpful for me. And as you can see, I got my port removed, and I have to get rid of my stitches or sutures at the end of this week, and that should be with the very last kind of big procedure thing that's associated with this whole process. I then just have to do my blood tests every 3 months for the first 2 years, and then every 6 months for the next 3 years. And I'm really trying to hold on to that awesomeness, the fact that I don't have to do any more big procedures, because I had to go into general anesthetic for this and had to go into surgery, which is just not nice. And it's just kind of when I went into the hospital again, I'm like, oh, again, I'm in these hospitals, I have to go through these procedures. I just don't feel I know that no one really feels good when they go into these kind of situations, but I think particularly being such a young person, it's I just don't belong here. I shouldn't be here. The people here, I just shouldn't be here. But I don't think anyone, I guess, should really be in hospitals. But I think you get what I mean. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the PET scan said everything was good. Probably something that I probably should have started out with. But yeah, the PET scan said that all the cancer's gone, which is great, and I'm really happy about that. And even though it's really great news that my PET scan is clear and that I have no cancer, that as soon as I got the PET scan and I got that great news, that was great. But at the same time, I was like, okay, and then what about the next blood test? Like, what will happen at the next blood test? Or what about the blood test after? It's like, it's hard to just kind of like accept and be happy with that test when you just think about the additional checkup tests. And what about if things go wrong? Like, maybe they won't go wrong now, but maybe they'll go wrong later on. And it's just, it's not good to think like that, but it's very hard not to think like that, especially in my case where I didn't have like an external lump or bump. My tumor was very much internal and you wouldn't have seen anything different. The doctors couldn't feel anything different. It was only with the x-ray that they thought there was a massive tumor thing inside my chest. So that also makes me anxious, but hopefully the blood test would let me know or let us know that something's going wrong if something starts going wrong again. I have filled in my eyebrows a tiny bit, but these are pretty much all my natural eyebrows, which I'm so happy about. The eyebrows are pretty much all back, and the hair's growing, which is nice, but I still want it to grow faster. I just want my like long hair, even if it's just a bob. Like, I really want my hair back, but you know, that's a process, and that's kind of like the least of my worries. But it's one of those aesthetic things that when you look at yourself, you're like, that's not me the way that I remembered me. So clearly I've gone through something, and I guess as a woman or as someone who always had long hair, that's a particularly difficult thing. I guess if you're someone who always had short hair, it doesn't take as long to really feel like yourself again when you look in the mirror. But for me, it's going to take a lot longer to really get to, not even like, my hair was very long before, but even like a bob would be nice, and I really look forward to the time where I can have a bob again. I've also noticed that I kind of get little bumps all over my skin. They've kind of gone away a bit now as my hair has properly burst through the skin again. Other side effects, other things that have been happening is that I've still been having problem with my eyes. Like, I think maybe because I was really trying to concentrate on looking at PhD options, that I started getting like a really bad headache one day. Then the next more or less 4 days I had like a little bit of nausea, which might have been caused by stress because of me trying to think about my life. What on earth am I going to do now? But I also had, things to do with like headaches. Then I had like a vision. My vision started going a bit funny. I couldn't quite concentrate and read things because my eyes were kind of like doing these like weird white spots where just my vision was going funny. But when I closed my eyes and kind of relaxed and tried to be in darkness, it resolved itself. But I still had those side effects, and it just kind of felt like, really? Like, I've been having so much chemo, I've like had all these side effects, like, really, do you still have to be around? Like, can these just go away completely? But I know it isn't that fast, it doesn't happen that quickly. I also had a little bit of fatigue, but not that much. It's been mainly about my eyes, but I did go to the optometrist to see if maybe getting glasses will help me, especially since I've been trying to read a lot, to really get my concentration muscle, I guess, working again, and really trying to build on it, especially since a lot of the kind of jobs or roles that I normally would have applied for that have to do with my degree take a lot of concentration, especially research type ones. So I've been trying to like read a lot, mainly fiction, so that way it's still like fun and doesn't feel stressful. But even in that, I feel that my eyes do get strained, so I'm getting glasses that I'm meant to pick up on Wednesday, and hopefully that will help me, because that will just mean that my eyes just a little bit more relaxed, so it's not just tensing, and hopefully that should help. They're the main things that have been happening with me, kind of side effecty things that have changed, things that have gone back to normal, which is great, but also like kind of emotionally, like a bit, I'm still struggling a lot with what to do next, and I'm sure that will probably carry with me for quite a while. But I'm doing the best that I can with it, and also making more of an effort to be mindful, to try to practice even like mindful meditation things, which I have found very helpful. So I'd really recommend people to engage in that. I want to know how everyone is doing on the other side of the camera. I hope you're all well and that things are progressing along. Remember that forward is forward. I read that the other day, which I just thought was so great, and it's just so true that I'm someone who's always like racing to the end, but at the same time it's like, if I can't race, if I can't run anymore, I can still walk, I can still crawl, I'm still moving forward, even if it isn't to the pace that I've been used to or the pace that I've wanted to do things in. So please leave a comment down below with how you're going or what's happening or any thoughts on this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, great. Bye.